Good morning, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, Pajama Grandma, in my tie-dye awesome pajamas, because sometimes you just need to go to sleep with a little bit of color and a little bit of flair. Anyway, today is day 69 already of the do one thing a day that scares you. I'm calling it a challenge today because I feel like it's a challenge some days, but my daughter challenged me to do a day, something every day that kind of tries to get me out of my comfort zone and gets me out of my rut. She was thinking I was becoming a bit of a hermit, and that will never do. So she found this book on my bookshelf and she said, hey, I see you started this but never really finished it. Why don't you do something with it? And you know, I love a challenge. So when she said that, I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And to hold myself accountable, I thought, all right, I will do a Facebook Live or a podcast post or some way to hold myself accountable. I will share that I'm actually doing this every single day this year. Now, I didn't start on the first of the year since it's day 69, and we're more than 69 days into the year, obviously. But I started pretty close to the beginning of the year. So I will continue for another, I'll do a total 365 days because I said I would. And then everyone will be sick of me stretching my comfort zone, and hopefully you'll have been stretching your comfort zone right along with me, so you won't be sick of it because you'll make awesome progress toward what it is that you want in your life too. Well, today is one of my least favorite days when they just have like a phrase or something and then a bunch of blank lines. So that means on those days, it's scary because I got to come up with something myself to stretch my comfort zone and to do something that will get me moving toward what it is that I want. Well, today, all it says is, today I started let's use the magnifying glass. Today I started to change my life, blank lines, 1, 2, 7 blank lines. Very intimidating. Not really. Blank lines are not intimidating. It just means we can write the story of our life any way we want. So it's actually an indicator of infinite possibilities. Now that's more exciting than it is scary. And that's what I do to overcome fear or to not be afraid of something. I just get curious and excited about it. And if I'm curious and excited about something, then I'm not really scared of it. Here is a prime example. This week, I am going to a marketing conference in Orlando, Florida. I haven't been to a marketing conference for like 8 years. And I've only been to like 3 or 4 of them ever in my life. I've been to lots of conferences, lots of industry conferences and things, and technical conference type things, or professional area of expertise type conferences and conventions, but not very many marketing conventions. So it's a lot of really cool extroverted people that will definitely be intimidating me. So I've had to kind of get psyched up for that because it's a little scary. And I'm going by myself. I'm going to meet some other ladies there, but I've never met any of them. So that's a little bit comfort zone stretching, but I'm just being curious and excited about it. And that makes it so I'm not afraid at all. I'm just super duper excited. And the interesting thing is the way that fear feels in our body and the way that excitement and curiosity feels in our body, they're the same. They're the same level of like vibration, it's called. So if I can switch from fear to excitement or curiosity, then it's the same energy, but it goes from negative to positive and moves me toward what I want. So today, I needed to come up with something that will stretch my comfort zone. So I like to turn to these handy dandy card decks. Decks of cards, I get them, I've gotten most of mine from Louise Hay, but I've also bought some at Barnes & Noble and at the bookstore. You can get them on Amazon, you can get them everywhere. But I have like probably 25, 30 of these decks because I think they're fantastic because I can just reach in, grab one out, and read it, and then that's a message for the day that I can carry with me. I've been doing that for like years. It's kind of my secret positivity weapon because it gives me just a little self-confidence in areas, especially in my business life and working with a lot of men who can sometimes be jerks, not as if women can't as well, but you know what I mean. So I used to carry one of these cards with me almost every day, or I also carried my own written affirmations on cards, but these, when I just needed a little extra oomph, I would grab one of these. So I pulled one out today from the deck called Money and the Law of Attraction Cards by Esther and Jerry Hicks, The Teachings of Abraham. And there's actually a book that goes along with this that I've read a long time ago. But today's card says, we are each responsible for the thoughts we think. Yeah, nobody can think for us. They can try to influence our thoughts, but guess what? Only we can think for ourselves. Only we control the thoughts in our own head. Nobody else does. As much as a lot of people would like to blame other people for controlling their thoughts. I will admit there were lots of years I thought that I didn't have control of my thoughts. I didn't know I could just say, I get to decide what I'm going to think about that or not. Now, that might be because I was, picking people that were really controlling to surround myself with. But I think that was my way of saying, I need to bust out of this and realize that I really can think for myself. And I did. Obviously, eventually I did that. So, I guess I wasn't going to, but I think I will read the back of this card so that you know and you have a little bit more background on what it's about versus me just saying we're all responsible for our own thoughts. But in order to do that, I need my handy-dandy magnifying glass because I can't see otherwise. When you are in alignment with who you really are, you cannot help but uplift those with whom you come into contact. Your value to those around you hinges upon only one thing, your personal alignment with Source. Now, I don't know if you know what that means or not, but that just means how true you're being to yourself and who you're really meant to be. That's my definition of alignment with Source. You can look it up and come up with your own if that makes you feel better. For some people, it would be, are you living in alignment with your religious beliefs? Are you living in alignment with your true being? And the only thing you have to give to another is an example of that alignment, which others may observe, then desire, and then work to achieve. But you cannot give it to them. Everyone is responsible for the thoughts they think and the things that they choose as their object of attention. So, as much as I want to influence my kids' thoughts and keep them thinking positive and moving in the right direction to take their life where they want it to go, I can't always do that. And I would love to be able to manage and control their thoughts for them because sometimes they suck. But the fact is, I can't. All I can do is hope that I've done a great job raising them, continue to coach them and guide them, but they still get to choose. All of us, each of us get to choose day in and day out what we're going to focus on, what we're going to think about, what we're going to create in our lives. So make sure you're thinking stuff that's moving you toward what you want. I better stop today. That's enough. I got a gazillion things to do, and I am super excited. So I am going to go think some awesome, positive thoughts about this event that's coming up and how incredible an opportunity and event it's going to be and how it's going to change my life. And what are you going to do? What can you do to bust out of your comfort zone, to actually notice and control the thoughts that you're thinking? And then realize that as much as you might want to influence or change the thoughts that your spouse is thinking, or your kids, or your grandkids, or a friend, or a coworker, it ain't going to happen. You can't do it. You can only control and choose your own thoughts. And they get to choose and control their own thoughts. But remember, with each of our thoughts, with each of our choices, there comes along the consequences and the responsibilities. So we can think whatever we want, but there's also going to be results of those thoughts. And let's make sure that we're choosing thoughts that will give us the results that we want, not thoughts that will give us the results that we don't want. Go out, make it an awesome day. Don't be scared, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.